Hello from New England Dyslexia Solutions. My name is Karen Logidici, and I am the director and facilitator here in Amesbury, Massachusetts. And I am working with a client this week. We actually just started day one of our Dyslexia Bootcamp. And so I wanted to share a little bit about what we've been working on this morning. And basically the first thing that we cover when we're doing a boot camp is the idea of state management. So when you think about the what's necessary in order to learn, really when it boils down, each person has to kind of be in the right state of mind and the right place in order to have information be able to connect and be able to focus, be able to attend to the task at hand. And oftentimes people with dyslexia have a very vivid imagination, and one that tends to kind of float off when things get confusing or challenging, and words and letters are causing the thought process to kick in and to kind of like disorient. And so I've talked about this in previous lives, but one of the things I wanted to share with you guys is this idea of state management. So when clients can get themselves to a place where they can be relaxed, alert, and focused, we can actually get ourselves into a state of being where we can be learning, right? I see Kathy Cook is joining. Hello. Oh, wow, I got 3 people on, so say hello. So when we're working with clients, that's one of the first things that we do is to provide some tools that enable them to learn how to bring their attention and their focus back to what we need to be doing. So sometimes if you've ever worked with a dyslexic client, or if you have a child who's dyslexic, you might notice that their attention kind of floats away as you're talking, or they might change the subject, or they might be more interested in being outside or being in their fantasy world, or what I would call, with my youngest son, he always used to say that he was in Jakey world. So when you're in that state where you're not connecting, you're actually off someplace else in your mind, then it makes it very challenging to connect with what you're doing in school. So we teach our clients a very simple way to kind of bring their attention back and practice with that so that it becomes more natural and normal for them. And the client that I'm working with this week has a diagnosis of both dyslexia and severe ADHD. So one of the things that we are talking about this morning is the amount of energy that can be in your body, and how to kind of become more aware of it and then match it so that it is appropriate to the task of what you need to be doing. So I wanted to see if I can turn my camera around here. I should know how to do this at this point. All right, let me see. Aha, okay, so here we go. So this is something that we talk about with clients, and this is called an energy dial. And basically all it is just an awareness of the different levels of energy, 1 being sleeping, 2 being just waking up, and 3 being that quiet chill out mode that enables you to just kind of relax, but you're awake and you're conscious and you're aware of what's going on. Talking is probably going to be not super comfortable at that point. And then as we move up, we have 4, 5, and 6, which are all varying levels of energy, but that provide an awareness of like when it's appropriate to learn, to communicate, and to be attending to the task. And as you go up the scale, this dial, we have 7, 8, and 9, which is completely appropriate when you're playing on the playground or doing a sport. And then 10 is reserved for fight, flight, or freeze, which our body will go into naturally. So it's super fun to be able to talk to clients about this. And when they can understand that, oh, there's really not a right or wrong energy level. These all serve a purpose, all have a function in our lives, but it's just whether or not it's matching what the task at hand is. So if you're trying to fall asleep, and I have a lot of clients with ADHD who have a really hard time falling asleep, they toss and turn and they can't, their mind spins and they're just, having a really difficult time. With the younger kids, these are the kids who are, have a really hard time sitting still in class, or they may have a difficult time connecting with people because they may have really high energy and it's just not matching what they need to be doing or the energy of those around them. So we just start to bring awareness to that. Like, okay, so what are we doing right now? And what do you have to do with your energy in order to be comfortable? Because if you're sitting in your chair, but you're squirming all around and it's just really uncomfortable, then you're not going to be in a place where you can actually learn anything. Okay, so if any one of those things, if you're stressed out, you're not going to be learning anything. If your energy is too high or too low, like if you're falling asleep when you're trying to learn, that's not going to work either. And also you need to be focused. So those are the 3 basic tools that we provide first thing when we are working with clients, so that they can really get themselves to a place where they can understand that state management, and then also become aware for themselves when their thoughts are starting to drift off, or when they have engaged their imagination. And when you're reading and you have to be, paying attention to what you're reading, if your mind is off on the playground, it's not going to work. So these are all just really common sense tools, but they make such a huge difference. And really everyone needs these tools. But people with dyslexia and ADD, it's like essential for them, because these are not tools that are generally taught in most school systems. So if we were to go in and teach everyone these tools in kindergarten, first, second grade, then you would have students who were able to attend more to their tasks, and just very simple stuff. And then secondly, what we work on is we start off with the alphabet. So I'm going to turn my camera around again. You can kind of see and get a glimpse into this work that my client did. And you can kind of see that, that's a model that I use to talk about the program and stuff. You can kind of see that some of these letters are clearer than others. Some of them are larger, some of them are well formed, and others are a little bit shaky. And so what this really enables me to see is where there might be confusion in some of the letters. And as she was going along with these letters, she's naming them, and some of them she didn't know the name of them. And so now I have that information in my back pocket, so that when she comes back after lunch and we continue to work through the confusions with the letters, she's going to be able to have the tools to be able to center herself, to be able to be relaxed, to, if she has too much energy, to bring that energy down, or if she's tired, she can bring it back up, just by, being aware of it, right? And then also being focused, and then looking at each letter and just working through them until we know that the letters are clear. And then we can move on. Because when you have someone with dyslexia and they're struggling with, even sounding out words, or they're, getting confused, or you see them looking at a word and it starts with a B and they're sounding it out as a D or a P or a Q or whatever it is, then we know that those letters are not solid. They're not sticking. So this is an awesome way, clay is an awesome way to be able to bring these abstract things out onto the table. So one of the things I noticed was that when she made the G, it was backwards. And she did end up going back and being able to find that that was the case, and she put it in its correct place. But, so that's going to be something that I might want to delve a little bit deeper into, because we want those letters to be anchored and to be strong and secure in their brain, so that when they go to see them in print and they are focused and attending to the task, that they will recognize it as the letter that it really is. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick look, a quick peek into day one of a Dyslexia Bootcamp. It's super fun. It's super positive. It's incredibly empowering for my clients to understand what's going on, why they've had so much time, so much difficulty focusing in the past, and then to actually undo a lot of the confusion that has built up over the years. So if you have any questions, then please post them in comments and let me know who is here. And I'm happy to answer any questions that come up. And you can also contact me directly. My contact information is right on the page up above. And I hope that this was helpful. Have an awesome day. Bye.